This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Randall versus Tichenor. You all have been together for about a year, but you all are contemplating a massive move together to a different state. You're gonna uproot your lives. But that has been put on halt because of allegations of cheating. Miss Randall, tell me why you're here.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so I'm here today because I need clarification. Okay. Me and Aaron have been together. I love him very dearly, but I feel like it's some fishy stuff going on, and I don't have time for it. So I need clarification today. I believe that he's cheating. Okay. I believe that he got something going on with somebody else, and I'm not having it. So I need to know today.
So what does that feel like?
It feels terrible. I'm royal. I feel like he's royal, but you're losing it. You're acting like a peasant. And you're doing too much. I don't have time for it.
So you're a queen and you're expecting a king.
Yes.
And you're not getting it right now.
No, I'm getting a peasant.
I think she explained it.
I think I got a picture. Mr. Tichenor, why aren't you being her king?
Well, I am her king, and I'm here to get my queen back and trying to get our trust back. Just false allegations throwing our balance off. She's not trusting me. So I'm just here to tell everyone that I am truthful and I'm not lying.
So what are these allegations doing to your relationship?
We're business partners as well, so it's hard for us to work together, and the chemistry is off.
We know something about chemistry being off.
We work together and...
Yeah, it's awkward, you know?
So you all are not only not making love, y'all not making money either.
No, and it's breaking away.
If you find that Mr. Tichenor is in fact cheating, not only do you lose your love relationship, you potentially lose this business relationship.
Yes, Your Honor. I can't be with a cheater. What are you doing? Why are you flipping the switch now?
I'm not flipping no switch.
Okay, you're flipping a lot of switches.
There's no light switch I touched.
All right.
Okay.
How did you two get together?
Okay, so it's a big hair show here in Atlanta. And I just bought a ticket on the whim, like, let me check it out. You know, it's artsy. I love art and stuff. So I went and I saw him, you know, he was modeling. He was real cool. He stood out. You know, his energy was just lit to me.
He stood out?
Yes. So I went over to him and I was talking to him and he made me laugh off bat. Like, he's just silly. And I found out that he has his own, like, jewelry line, or, like, he was looking to, you know, do choker lines and different stuff like that, and I design as well.
So, Mr. Tichenor, did you know she was checking you out?
I mean, I saw her look, and I thought she was trying to creep on me for a second, but...
You say creep on you, what do you mean?
You know, I felt like she was just watching. I was like, maybe she's just looking because she's interested in how I look.
Yeah, because you kind of got this whole, you got a Prince, Bruno Mars, Morris Day vibe coming. I'm checking you out too. I'm like, okay, you got a whole kind of 80s thing. That's me and Mr. Colors decade right there, the 80s.
80s.
Yeah, so I'm 24 karat. Okay, go ahead, look.
We kept up with each other, and then a year later, you know, we started to date.
What made you fall in love with her?
I loved how artsy she is and her mindset. And then through that, me getting to know her, I got physically attracted to her. And also, I'm bisexual, and she was understanding that, and she accepted me for who I was.
So it sounds like a beautiful thing. I mean, you're vibing at an art level, at a friendship level, at a love level. You all in business together. How are you here?
We wanted to move together, like do things together. And so we thought that Miami would be a great place to start over, you know, start fresh. So he was like, yo, I go down there, check out some little areas, check out a place for us to maybe, you know, move in together. I got a couple friends down there that I know. Okay. So, you know, I didn't think of it. Okay, cool. So he goes down there and he comes back. Now, when he comes back, energy is just strange. After that, you know, I'm trying to be a good girlfriend, you know. I go to do his laundry, open up his suitcase, and this is what I find. Some panties.
Oh! But why does she still have those pants?
Because, okay.
Well, hold on. So panties mean women's panties.
Yeah.
All right, and they weren't yours.
No, okay, so I thought that maybe he got them for me. I'm like, oh, that's a cute gesture. You know, you got me some underwear and blah, blah, blah. But then I look in the seat of them and they were worn and torn.
Oh my
so these
God. She still has the worn, torn underwear.
Whatever.
So these were not new panties?
No, and so I sniffed them too and they were not.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Right, yeah.
Wait a minute. If it didn't have a tag, you just had to presume. You ain't got to sniff them.
She trying to be an FBI agent. You're artsy.
So you think something's going on?
Yeah, I know something's going on.
You believe
I
it?
know something's going on, so I threw them right in his face. You can smell them too. You cannot act like these are for me or You know what I'm saying? He
Which
had a
was
bogus.
very rude.
Well, Mr.
She did
Tichenor,
throw
I
in
didn't
your
know it was
face?
the panties.
well,
Yeah.
Mr. Tichenor, I don't think rudeness is your biggest issue right now. I think your biggest issue is why you came back from a trip with women's panties in your suitcase, because that's what we call evidence.
Right.
So why did you have this evidence in your suitcase?
Your Honor, I have no idea how the underwear, the panties got in my suitcase. I know when I was traveling, the luggage was handled a lot. Before I left.
He
Look,
claimed
wait,
that TSA
wait, hold
put on
on.
your
The-
pants.
the luggage is handled-
Complimentary panties
Miss-
while you're traveling.
Please, I
Hold on,
was
Miss
sitting
Ra-
at the bar, I had drinks, I left them, by the front desk.
You have no idea. I'm trying to piece this
I
together.
feel like someone
understand.
thought that it was their luggage and they put the drawers in the suitcase.
You think the concierge?
I mean, I had some nice suitcases, so I feel like they just want to touch it.
Okay, touching is one thing. Opening and putting in a pair of used drawers is another.
It sounds crazy, but
It does
It
sound
is
crazy.
crazy.
I'm glad we agree on that, Mr.
Absolutely,
Tichenor.
but those I have no idea about.
Do you
That's-
understand why she's a little bit like, what?
I understand, but as her king, she should trust me.
If I go away on a trip and I come back and Miss Cutler finds some women's panties in my suitcase,
And they not for me and they not brand new, I would investigate. That's what that would be.
Okay.
And I think that that's appropriate here.
Yeah.
So at this time, we would like to bring in private investigator Todd Redding into the courtroom to see if we can further investigate this
These
evidence.
panties.
Ron, would you escort him in?
Yes, Your Honor. Todd Redding.
Right. What can you do to test to see if Mr. Tichenor was cheating or not?
Your Honor, we can take the underwear and test for traces of male semen.
All right.
We do a simple test on it to determine whether or not the panties give a negative or positive indicator.
Let's do that. Ron, would you grab the evidence and take them to Mr.
Yes, Your
Redding?
and we're going to send you back so you can perform your test, and then we'll call you back in later to see what you determine.
Okay, Your Honor. Be right back.
All right, we about to find out.
We will find out.
What other evidence do you have to think he might be cheating?
I find a picture of him and some girl hugged up, kissed up.
You found it where?
I found it in his phone.
Why were you going through his phone?
A woman's intuition.
All right, that woman's intuition, man.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I have the picture. I want to show y'all that. Because I have evidence, honey. When I feel like something ain't right,
You gonna have it.
and I found
Ron,
this.
would you please get that?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, ma'am.
Let's take a look.
Well, that definitely looks like you, Mr. Tichenor.
And you
And not
are,
just hugged up. I mean,
he's grabbing her.
Explain that.
Miss Tichenor,
did TSA do this?
No, I can explain this.
Please do.
I was at a day party with my realtor, and he brought his friends, right? So that was one of his friends that we brought, and we were drinking. We were in Miami having a good time. I was drunk. It was hot. I was drunk.
you are not buying any of this.
I'm not buying that. He kissing up on that girl's face.
Where's everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, it just
It's
looks
the two
like
of you
you.
all.
It was a stormy day.
It was.
I thought it was sunny.
It was a
like,
stormy day.
in my head,
No,
like, it was a
this is what I'm
lot.
saying, Your Honor. He lies, and
I'm
he'll bring up a
not
whole bunch
lying.
of crap, and it makes no sense.
So, you are in Miami, you hugged up with some other woman.
Grabbing her
almost
by the butt.
Grinding her against the wall.
Wow, that sounds.
And then you come back from Miami and you've got women's panties in your suitcase.
It's looking all bad, but
It really is.
Really?
I'm
You
telling
think?
you,
Randall, please tell me this is all you have.
It's not.
Oh.
Okay, tell
I
me.
told you I'm a private investigator.
All right, so what else do you have that supports that he's cheating?
Okay, so I go through his phone and I find his voicemail, and this girl's like, "Hey, I had a good time with you," and she sounds sloppy drunk, so I believe the drunk part was real. And so I went off. I just stormed out. I went off on him and I stormed out. And I want to know, who is this? Is this the panty chick?
I don't know about a voicemail.
I know you
don't
don't.
know what's
Oh,
happening.
okay.
Maybe
Okay.
you're just.
No, maybe you're
Your
just-
head is going crazy right now. But
So who was this woman you had this great time with? Was this the woman in the picture or some other woman?
the woman in the picture is just a friend. I don't have her number. She's
So this was
there
some
at the
other
party.
woman then who left this voicemail
I don't know
message.
about the voicemail, so I can't speak
She
on
just
that.
told you about it.
I'm denying that. I don't know
Yeah.
nothing about the voicemail, Your Honor.
Do you remember getting a voicemail from a woman saying she had a good time with
Maybe
you?
he was drunk. He didn't
No,
remember that.
I don't.
I think it was.
I really was drunk that day.
See, he doesn't remember getting that voicemail. So he was drunk. So he doesn't remember how the panties got in. He doesn't remember taking the picture.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't remember the woman calling saying, hey, we had a good time. All that because he was drunk in Miami.
Well, and of course, you don't want to forget that the concierge or TSA, because they don't have enough to do, wanted to put some panties in his luggage.
Because I was at the bar when,
And that's what you're going with?
That's the truth.
He's lying. He's lying, and I feel it deep in my heart that he's lying, and it's so upsetting to me. Like, I'm really upset. Like,
Miss Randall, you, up until this point, were planning to pick up your entire life.
Yes.
And move to Miami with him
Yes.
to go forward.
Yes.
And this is breaking your heart.
Yes, this is really breaking my heart because, like, I'm the type of person where I wanted to, like, be in love with somebody and, like, grow together and, like, grow our life and our business together and stuff, and he just messing it up. Like, everything was good, and it's like, when you give your heart to somebody, then they just start, like, tripping, like.
I think at this point, we have enough evidence. And what we have is, you found another woman's panties in Mr. Tichenor's luggage when he came back from Miami. You found a picture of him kissing another woman, and you recently found a voicemail of another woman claiming to have had a great time with your boyfriend in Miami.
And if it's determined that he's cheating, you're done. Not just with the personal relationship, but with the business relationship as well. You're done.
Yeah.
And based on that, this court has done a full investigation to determine, is he cheating? So at this time, the court would like to recall private investigator Todd Reddy. Ron, would you please escort him into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor. Todd Reddy.
Mr. Redding, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Your Honor. I have your results.
Oh, good.
Well, explain to us what you were able to investigate.
What we did, Your Honors, we examined the panties for traces of semen. So in step number 1, we placed distilled water in the stained area of the panties. Then we extracted that distilled water into our testing cup in order to get a sample. Our final step, we placed a PSA test stick into the sample water in order to determine a result.
So what are we looking for with the PSA stick?
So what we're looking for, Your Honor, are 2 different indicators. A single line indicating a negative result of semen, or a double line indicating a positive result of traces of semen.
And so what did your results determine? All right.
Yeah. TSA.
Okay, but it's more.
Well, Mr. Tichenor, that just shows that there was no semen in those particular pair of panties. It doesn't necessarily explain how or why they were in your possession, coming back from a trip from Miami. To further investigate this, the court also conducted a polygraph examination of Mr. Tichenor, and Mr. Redding, you have those results, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. Tichenor was asked, did you have sexual intercourse with a woman whose panties were found in your luggage? What was his response to that question?
Your Honor, his response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
Mr. Tichenor was asked, did you have sexual intercourse with a woman who you were photographed kissing? What was his response to that question?
Deceptive.
Mr. Tichenor.
What?
What?
Yeah, what? What were you doing with her? Did you have sex with that woman in Miami?
No, I did not, Your Honor. Just that kiss on the cheek.
You did not have
That's
sex
not
with her. That
No.
wasn't a kiss on the cheek. Your mouth is open on this picture.
I didn't do anything.
Were you
Well,
drunk?
the-
You don't remember?
The question asked about intercourse, and it says you were deceptive. Now, you weren't drunk when you took the polygraph examination, so you can't blame it on that.
I really don't know. I didn't.
All right. Mr. Tichenor was asked from March 2017 until now, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your girlfriend, Mercedes Randall? What was his response?
Your Honor, his response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive.
So who was this?
This was my ex.
Your ex? Are you serious?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Sorry, like, for real? I'm done. Don't call me, don't text me, don't nothing.
Mr. Tichenor, I think she's done. And I think she's destroyed. And that's really horrible.
Mercedes, I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear it.
But hopefully in the future, maybe we can rekindle. I am human, I make mistakes, so.
You all have been together for 6 years. You have 2 kids together. There was some infidelity early in your relationship, but you got past that. You're now engaged to be married. But this engagement that started on a mountaintop could very well go off a cliff depending on what happens in this courtroom today. Is that right, Ms. Gardner?
Yes.
Right. You've initiated this case. Tell us why, please.
There's been some warning signs. He's very flirtatious. He takes that flirtatious thing about himself outside of the house. Even I have reason to suspect that he's doing these types of things at work when you're supposed to just be making money and taking care of your family.
So he's working at work.
Working at work, exactly.
All right, Mr. Dix, are you working at work?
Yeah. Even though it is, no, not really. And I'll just go in there to just work. Like every day I go in, you know, have you.
But Ms. Gardner thinks you're cheating. What do you have to say about those allegations?
Yeah, it haven't really went past anything.
That's
because
a lie.
If you say.
That's a lie. I believe that when you step outside of your relationship, your mood changes. How you interact with the person changes. Everything's different. So that's what woke up my woman's intuition. It's just the difference in the way that he was dealing with me and handling me.
And so you've seen this difference.
Right.
And you think Mr. Dix is giving it to somebody else.
Correct.
Okay.
So tell me what you've seen that actually proves he's cheating.
One day when I was getting ready to go to work, I hear his phone go off. So, I turn around like, okay, that's kind of strange. So I turn around and of course the trust issues are there. If I trusted him, I would have just kept walking out the door, but I didn't trust him.
So it was strange to you that his phone rang when you were going out the door? I mean, his phone probably rings a lot. I mean...
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. So it alarmed me. It was right at the moment that I walked out the door.
And you're thinking to yourself, okay, who knows my schedule?
Exactly.
Like, okay, it's call the person, that's what she's thinking is that he's like, she leaves at this time, so the person got ahead of themselves.
But that could be a coincidence.
Well, it could be, but when you're already on high alert, you're like, what?
Right.
What is this?
Okay,
and then I looked in his phone and I saw the text messages between him and a woman saying, would you like to come over to a house that, I invested in, for us to like our first starter family home, everything. And
he's inviting this woman
and
over?
you're inviting a woman over there. Exactly.
All right.
So, Mr. Dix, I guess it wasn't just a coincidence. I guess your phone's going off at that time for a particular reason.
No.
Who's this woman you invited over?
Yeah, it was somebody, but they didn't come over, and like I was texting them. Yeah,
Do you hear? Wait. Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, I hear.
It was somebody. I did text them. They didn't come over, so no harm, no foul.
Okay, so
right?
wait.
Right?
Way back here, Mr. Color, when I texted them, that might be okay. But when you invited them over, that's,
Is that where you drawing this line? Is that where you drawing the line?
This is the line right here. I invited them over. Because if they had come over, the question is, what happens?
It was just a friend, like.
And I'm not
Was it
sure
a female
she
friend?
came over.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no.
Like on everything, like it was just a female friend, but then nothing was nothing going to
No,
happen
because I saw
like
text messages also approaching her sexually, you know, telling her what you wanted to do to her, you know, sexually, what you wanted her to do to you. I saw those text messages, and I also saw calls
When
between
did I
you
say I
two
want her to do
in
anything
your
with me?
call log. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
About your face.
So, Mr. Dix, are you giving this woman just step-by-step instructions? I want you to come
No.
over, and then I want you to
No.
do this, and then I'm gonna do this. Is that you just
No.
got just a manual just laid out there?
No, I didn't have no step, no plan A through Z, nothing.
You're like,
Okay, but here's the thing.
what you
I
wanted
just
her
told
to do
her
to you.
Mr. Dix, what you missing is you may not, and I'm not saying you didn't, but you may not have had a plan, but you don't know what her plan was. And she got you home alone.
Yeah.
And I, you know, this is an argument, a conversation Mr. Cutler and I've had over the years about how men don't recognize that sometimes you getting trapped in your own trap.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Ms. Gardner, is there anything else that makes you think that Mr. Dix is hunting for another woman?
He has a habit of being messy. One day, I got a phone call from him while he's at work, and he tells me that there's, you know, some guy confronting him. So me being his woman, being very protective, and also not wanting his job to be affected, I was worried. So he did not tell me to come down there, but I took it upon myself. So when I got down there, I was approached by the male that he was having an altercation with. He explained to me the situation, why he confronted Marcus, and it's because his girlfriend at the time, he sent that girl a penis picture.
Mr. Dix did?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, of course,
Yes.
her man got upset, confronted him at the job, and his mouth paid the price.
So did you send her a picture of your privates?
Yeah, the way I
Wait,
didn't
wait,
really
wait.
send it. Like,
No, you don't. Wait, hold it.
Mr. Dix.
Now we know where the name comes from, but
Hey.
here's my thing.
Exactly.
Is that a yes or no? Because you can't kind of send one of those pictures. You either do or you don't.
It wasn't on purpose. Because, like, we were getting into it. Like,
We who?
me and Sanicia.
Okay.
Like, we would never, like, when we get into it, she always wound up leaving me.
Okay, speed this along and get to the part where you pressed send
Okay,
to send a
so,
picture of your
so
product.
I was on,
And it was accidental.
like, I was in my phone, you know, and I would just, like, scroll, and then, like, when it stopped, then I
Is
got
this
a
some
lot
kind
of
of
female.
penis
That's
calls.
roulette you
for
doing?
it to be an accident.
Okay, wait.
Wait,
No,
hold on.
like, her, like...
Is this some kind of penis roulette you doing? You take a picture, you scroll down your
It
phone,
was a
you
roulette.
hit, and that's
it
what
was a
gets it?
50-50 chance that it might have been somebody that I worked with, and it was. So,
Okay, if this wasn't enough, has there been anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
We had another situation. One day, this girl, we were, you know, bickering at the time and everything like
Can't
that.
You mean you two were?
Yes, we
came to my
were.
job with
Okay.
my clothes.
Yeah, and I did that. And so after that, I went outside and I was trying to calm down and everything like that. That's when my friend came outside and the girl confronted me about what he was doing. She said that he was being very flirtatious with her. He was making sexual passes at her. She said they touched each other sexually. And I did, you know, ask a couple people up there because, you know, he thinks everybody's his friend. And the people he talks to
Not
the most, the
really.
funny thing is they're the ones that talk to me the most.
They doing this.
Behind his back.
I don't say nobody up there is a friend. Like, nobody is a friend. I don't hang out with nobody. When I go to work, then I come home. Nobody from work come over there. I don't got nobody number. Like, I don't hang out with nobody.
But Mr.
Right,
Dix, you're doing
everybody.
everything. You may not hang out with him outside of work, but it sounds like you're doing everything at work. You're flirting. You all are sending text messages. All this is going on at work. Ms. Gardner, I see that you brought a witness with you.
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, would you stand, please, behind the podium? All right, and tell us your name.
My name is Mira.
All right, your last name?
Jenkins, Mira Jenkins.
All right. Ms. Jenkins, what is the nature of your relationship to Ms. Gardner and Mr. Dix?
I know them through a family member, but I began to hang out with them more last year.
So what is it that you've observed that we need to know about?
Marcus, like she said, he's really flirtatious. He was really flirtatious. I know one of my friends, she used to tell me that he used to text her asking her to please her orally. She was actually my friend, but I was friends with her too. So, you know, I used to tell her, like, don't do that. Like, he got an old lady, you know.
If somebody don't want to talk to you no more, well, okay, yo, let me talk to you right quick. Yo, I don't want to talk anymore or something like that instead of just
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Well, I think what's the point?
The point is, why are you writing about sexual activity? That's the problem. It's not that she had the gall to say, I don't like what's going on. It shouldn't have been anything going on to begin with.
Right.
Right. All right, so do you believe that Mr. Dix is cheating?
I mean, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, just from the things that I've seen, I feel like if he's willing to, like, flirt with me, knowing that I know his old lady.
And we hang out often.
Period. Then he would do it he'll mess around with anybody.
Right.
All right, Ms. Jenkins, thank you very much. You can have a seat, please.
So here's the question I have, Ms. Gardner. If you find out that Mr. Dix is in fact cheating, what happens?
If I find out, well, when I find out the truth, I believe whichever direction it leads, it'll help guide me and give me that, I guess, push and, you know, to move forward, whichever direction that is.
You understand what's at stake here?
Yes, sir.
Because you've heard Ms. Gardner, you know how she feels. And it's come to this point.
Love, this is what we got. I think we got enough. One, we have the penis picture, and then we have the phone text messages indicating that he invited a woman over while she was at work. For all of these reasons, Ms. Gardner feels pretty sure that Mr. Dix is cheating. She's here for clarity so she can figure out, where do I go from here? But the one thing is for sure, there will be no marriage until she finds out what's going on.
To help her get that clarity, this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, we will call certified polygraph examiner Tommy Platt and forensic voice analyst Guy Wolf to determine, is he cheating? Lon, please escort our experts in. Good day, gentlemen. How are you all?
Good, Your Honor.
Great, sir.
It's good to see you. Now, Mr. Wolf, you performed a forensic voice analysis of Mr. Dix, is that correct?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Platt, you performed a polygraph examination, correct?
Yes, sir.
You asked Mr. Dix a series of questions and he gave you answers.
Yes, sir.
And you each analyzed those answers, correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at the forensic voice analysis.
Did you have sexual intercourse with your coworker whom you sent a photo? No.
And Mr. Platt, you asked the identical question, correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And what was his response?
He stated no.
Mr. Wolf, what did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The forensic voice analysis determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
Told you. Yes.
Mr. Platt, what did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
All right, Mr. Dix, you looking happy. All right. Yeah. You asked another question, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Let's take a look.
Did you have sexual intercourse with your coworker who admitted to Miss Gardner that you were pursuing her sexually? No.
And Mr. Platt, you asked the same question.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was his response?
He stated no, Your Honor.
All right. What did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The voice analysis determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Platt?
The lie detector determined that he was telling the truth.
Okay.
So,
I see a smile on this side. I see confidence, brimming confidence on that side.
Yeah, but we got one more question. Mr. Wolf, let's look at what you asked him.
Since getting back together with your fiancé, have you had sexual intercourse with any woman other than Miss Gardner?
No.
Mr. Platt, you asked the same question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get the same response?
I did.
All right, what did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The forensic voice analysis determined that he was also being truthful, Your Honor.
Boom. Myself, right?
And Mr. Platt?
The lie detector determined that he was telling the truth.
All right.
Yeah. I might be a little flirtatious, but
Not a little, a lot.
I might be, but in the end of the day, I'm not going to cheat on you.
Mr. Dix, there's flirtation, and then there's crossing the line flirtation.
Right.
Everybody to some degree is a little flirtatious, whether they admit it or not. But when you cross the line and start sending explicit messages, I'm going to do this, sending pictures of yourself, you've crossed that line, and that's a line you can't cross.
All right.
Here's the thing. Relationships work when you decide to be your best self, regardless of what the person's doing. If you are being your best, Mr. Dix, it's gonna force her to pull up her game. And if you being your best, Miss Gardner, it's gonna force him to pull up his game. But if y'all both being petty, it just devolves. So be your best you in this relationship. And don't make that decision based on what he's doing or what she's doing. Base it on, I'm here because I want you to be happy. And if you make that your focus, all this other foolishness goes out the window. You ain't gonna have the energy to text those other women.